is? How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about Monkey Man, the newest movie coming from first-time director Dev Patel and producer Jordan Peele. We're going to talk about all the things. We're going to talk about all the fights, all the mayhem, whooping someone's ass with a kitchen, a whole kitchen though. You know what I'm saying? Training dogs out in the street and worshiping monkey gods. It's a whole thing. So if you want to hear what we have to say, sit back, relax, grab a snack, grab a beverage, and listen on in to the first ones to die.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the First Ones to Die podcast. Wow, y'all both looked up at the exact same time. I'm impressed. My name is Jonathan, and we are back for another episode. I'm here with Jerome and Alex. How are you guys doing? How you doing, Alex?
I'm good. It is a 3-day weekend, so I am
yes.
living for that right now.
Day.
Yay! I've been drinking since yesterday, so I'm
As you
excited
should.
to continue
As
that.
you see.
Because as an adult, you have to now plan your drinking around when your days off are, or when there's long weekends. Because I'm not going to be drinking like this at any other time now. 2 drinks at max, and I have to look at like the alcohol content during when I'm working normal hours. But I've been good. I got a couple things since we were watching all the Planet of the Apes stuff. I actually got the book, Planet of the Apes, the original one.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
I'm only about like 65 pages in, but it's only like 268, so only got like 200 more pages to go. It's interesting. It's so different from the movies because they are so much more advanced. It is like modern day society in these books. Absolutely, like they have class societies and like wealthy establishments and like things like that. So it's really interesting to see, but it's also all from the journal perspectives of the main character, whose name is Ulysses. There we go.
Ulysses, probably.
Ulysses, thank you. And then also, I picked up something today and I'm super excited to do it. Legos.
Oh.
Is
Look
it
at
Lego?
that.
Is it
Is the
Lego
sun-
solar system?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
but it's this
Oh,
one's
wait,
just
does
the
it
Earth
move?
right now. Yeah, it's got a little crank, so it's the Earth going around the sun. So that's the complete solar system. I don't know if I
Okay.
could add more than one planet, but this is just the Earth
I
right
feel
now
like
going around the sun.
If you modded it, you probably could. Maybe. I've seen a lot of people take the Lego Technics models and then like use the cranes for different things, like build like roller coasters and little like animatronics and all types of stuff.
I
They
am
make some
not
cool
good at
stuff.
engineering. I like to put stuff together. I don't like to design it. So I'm really excited for this. I'm gonna have the glue to keep it together because this looks complicated, and I have an asshole cat who would just love to destroy it. So I did get super glue, and the super glue I got is actually really cool too. It's in pen form.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can
Which
get
is-
So you
those
can get
tough
really
places.
precise.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I won't get glue on my hands because I always do that. It always is uncomfortable. I recently made a masquerade mask using old pairs of glasses and hot glue and some beads and feathers. I fucking hated it. I didn't know you needed to have skills to do a hot glue, to use a hot glue gun, but you do. I got that shit everywhere. I burned myself like consistently. It was awful when it was done. People were very nice about it because they could tell it was a good attempt. But hot glue was like everywhere. I just didn't realize how much skill you need to operate a hot glue gun. It's stupid and ridiculous, and I don't want to do it again. And I'm not going to do it again. Anytime anything needs hot glue gunning, absolutely not. But my week has been pretty decent. I'm just super excited for my Legos and to hopefully finish Planet of the Apes this weekend now that I have a long weekend to actually just chill and read.
Nice.
Yep.
How about you?
Jonathan? We'll flip the script, Jonathan. How has your week been?
He said we'll flip the script. It's
Flippin'.
been good.
Flip the script.
It's been good. My first full week back at work in like weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So the work week felt a little bit longer, but it was good in the sense that, you know, I earned this long weekend, which I'm excited for the next 2 days at least. Yesterday I watched a movie that a lot of people, particularly online, are talking about. It's called The Idea of You, starring Anne Hathaway.
Oh, did you like it? I've heard like mixed things. Some people say it's great.
I've
Some
heard
people
some
say
people.
it's bad.
I've heard the good things
Like,
about it. I haven't heard that it's too bad.
It's a cute watch. I wouldn't say that like I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. This is amazing. No, it was like, oh, okay, that was cute. It was pretty standard for like romance, especially being based on a book. I'm like, yes, I can tell exactly that I can tell, even if I didn't know that this was based on a book, that this is based on a book. At the beginning, they do go to Coachella, which I'm like, hey, I've been there, so I know
I
what
was
it's like.
just there.
Right. But I'm also like,
I
there's
get that
okay,
reference.
right. But okay, spoiler. It's not really a spoiler because it's at the beginning of the movie. The way she meets the guy is she's in the VIP area and then she goes to try to go to the bathroom and she accidentally goes to his trailer and that's how they meet. I'm like, even if you're VIP, you don't just have immediate access to the artist's trailers. I mean, actually, I was in VIP, so I wouldn't know for certain, but I'm like 99% sure that's not how it works. And then there were the obvious like cliches and stuff that you have in the romance movies, but overall it was fun. It was cute. It's about, if you don't know what it's about a mom who's turning 40, a single mom. She's divorced, and she falls in love with a 24-year-old pop star. So, yeah. And then another thing I watched today was Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse movie.
Now that I've heard nothing but bad things about, and I'm like, I don't care what anybody says. I'm still watching it. I'm still giving it a chance.
Like it. I don't think it's gonna look great, but
so
what did you think?
I thought it was very well shot. I actually thought the main actress, I forget her name, but I've seen her in Industry on HBO, and she was really good in that. I thought she did a good job portraying Amy Winehouse. I won't say great or spectacular, but I think she did a decent job at portraying Amy Winehouse. My main gripe is with the music, which is perhaps the biggest element of Amy Winehouse's story.
Yeah.
Did they have her sing, or did they like just have her do voiceover? Like
they
like
had the
Queen
actress
did?
they had the actress actually sing.
I told you that was a big problem with what I saw a lot of complaints online was that Amy Winehouse has a very distinct singing voice and she wasn't close to it when she sang in at least in the previews.
But the thing is
Interesting.
the thing is that they actually played Amy Winehouse's vocals at some points throughout the movie. Like there's this one point where they're in a bar and they play her song. And it's not like where it's just like we, the audience, are hearing the song. Like the people in the scene are hearing the song as well, if that makes sense. So it's like, this is clearly not the same voice that we've been hearing up until this point. So how are we supposed to believe that this is Amy Winehouse's song, you know?
It's just like the Sharon Tate thing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where Margot Robbie, who's playing Sharon Tate, goes to see a movie starring herself, and then they actually play the movie starring the real Sharon Tate. And so it's just like,
who is this?
I mean, it was
really
a great
hard
like
to be meta.
nod to
That's
her,
the
but it was the
problem.
thing where it was jarring because it's like, oh, okay, so.
I think the whole problem is they try so hard to be like meta, be like, oh, it's the real person and it's not the, and it's like, no, this is just this is coming off bad. It's not coming off good. It's not coming off the way you think it's coming off. And then
I think
it's
an attempt to pay respect to the person, the actual person, be like, yeah, we're going to play their actual songs. We're going to show their actual movie, whatever. But it's only jarring because it's like, you have to either go full one way or the other. You can't do both. Because then if you do both, it feels weird. It just feels weird movie wise, continuity wise within your film.
The whole point of the bio documentary is that it's already paying the respects. You don't need to keep doing that inside the actual film. You're doing the respect by the whole thing. So either fully commit by using all her vocals or like don't and just let the actress sing so it doesn't get this like weird vibe. I think a nod here and there is cool. Like maybe the Sharon Tate one, yeah, that's like fine. But then going back and forth, it loses the respect and just becomes something that the audience like notices and will remark on constantly and not in the good way.
Yeah.
It can pull you out of a movie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Marissa Abela. She's the actress that plays Amy Winehouse. She was really good in Industry. Again, I'll say. But yeah, that was my main thing. It was a little. Speaking of distracting, there was a woman sitting next to me who kept pulling out her phone to text, and she was sitting directly next to me. And at 2 points in the movie, she took a call. She was actually talking on the phone during the movie. Midway through the movie, I just had enough. I was like, "Excuse me, that's a little bit distracting." And she's like, "Oh, sorry." Then she put her phone away. So, just
I was
a
about to
PSA
say,
to people.
if you politely asked, maybe she would have put her phone. So yeah, okay, cool.
Right.
Well, at least she was nice enough to put her phone away. I mean, you shouldn't have to. That's true. You shouldn't have. And she's lucky she wasn't at. I forget the theater. It's some theater in Texas. I think it's the Alamo Drafthouse, but I might be wrong on that. But there's a specific theater where if you're on your phone, they will straight up kick you out and ban you.
Good.
As they should.
and to prove their point, there's a in the front of their movies, because they got this one woman. Like after this happened, they play it in front of all of their movies, where this woman called to file a complaint and left a message on their voicemail talking about, "I didn't know I couldn't have my phone, and now I'm being like banned from coming to the movie theater, and it's super stupid," and all this stuff. And she's just going off, and they're playing like, "Don't let this be you. Turn your phone off," or don't check
That
your
is
phone
the
during the
Alamo. I've
movie.
seen that. That is the Alamo in Texas.
And I'm just like, you know what though? They're not wrong. Like, because if it is an emergency, I'm sorry, it's too late. And if you and if it's not an emergency, you don't need to take this phone call. They can leave a message.
Right.
Or up and out of the theater for whatever conversation. You're not going to be paying attention to the movie.
Right.
Or
Just
that
up and
too.
out.
If you are going to take it, leave. Don't stay there.
If it's so crucial for you to be texting with somebody, or if you're like, if there's a situation that needs attending that you really need to text or call somebody, you should not be in this movie theater right now. You should not be in it.
That's the thing. It's like, because I made I was joking about it's too late if it's an emergency, but if it actually is an emergency, the last thing you need to do is be like, "Okay, I know you were in that car wreck, but I need to finish this movie, so I'll see you at the hospital." Like, no, leave now.
I need to know how Amy Winehouse's story ends.
I gotta find out how the movie ends.
It's
So
on my mic.
listen, you good though, right? Are you not good because you in a hospital bed? Well, that's all right. You still breathing though. Okay, cool. Well, as long as they keep the oxygen filled, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Okay, bye. Click. No, go to the damn hospital.
Well, I mean, if they only allow a certain amount of people in like the hospital room, do I really need to go? I mean, I'm just gonna be sitting outside in the lobby. Maybe I can enjoy my movie. If I'm not an immediate family member, why am I wasting like space over there?
Your
I'm
last
just
time
saying.
seeing them, and you're like, well, the limits, obviously, the maximum occupancy has obviously been reached at the hospital.
At that
room,
point,
so.
I'd be there more for the people in the hospital lobby than I would be for the patient in the room. I'm just saying. I'll be there for you guys. But like, I'd be there for you guys.
I feel like you're just saying, like, listen, sometimes, you're going to lose a few.
Like the Vanessa Hudgens video. People are gonna die.
Yes, but I don't have a mansion, as you can see, to spend my time in.
Which, by the way, sorry, spoilers for The Masked Singer. Vanessa Hudgens, she won the latest season of The Masked Singer. I don't watch it currently, but I kept up with the tweets.
I
How
don't watch
could they
it
not
either.
know that it was Vanessa Hudgens? Wouldn't they know?
I know she has a very distinct voice.
She too has a very distinct voice.
Yeah, but
She's-
sometimes when you can't see people,
And
you
she's also
just
a
like
singer.
your mind plays tricks on you.
Yeah, but it's different like when it's like an athlete or an actor or something. She's an actual singer. So she has the singing voice that you know. I feel like when singers win, it's like, well, you should know. They literally have sung before. You've heard them sing before.
I mean, yeah, but Vanessa Hudgens don't have like a music career. Like she's only and the last time she was in a singing movie was back when she was just getting started. Like the last musical, name the last musical she's been in since then.
I only
She
know High
did-
School Musical.
She
I've
did
never
Grease
actually seen.
Live. She did
Grease
Grease
Live?
Live. That was no Grease.
Oh, Grease. I was like, Greek.
And how long ago was that?
I think that
'Cause
was
I
in like
remember, I do remember that.
2018,
Yeah.
2017, 2016
So that's
maybe.
like
I
a
don't know.
long time ago in like, entertainment years.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was that. Go check out the Amy Winehouse movie and make your own, judgment of the movie. It was kind of cool getting to, relive the moments of her career, and especially that iconic moment at the Grammys when she won. That was in the movie as well. And of course, all of the tragic and sad stuff that happened in her life was, touching to include as well. Lastly, I've been watching the docuseries Black Twitter: A People's History on Hulu, and it's been good so far. It's been they've gone over, the comedy of Black Twitter. They've gone over the activism of Black Twitter. Because it's not all just, fun and jokes. Black Twitter has actually helped create change in some of these social movements, especially when an injustice happens. So it's been cool to watch, and
I
I'm
still need to watch the
to
Freaknik
continue it.
documentary on Hulu as well.
Oh yeah, I wanted to watch that too because I know virtually nothing about Freaknik, but I
Same.
always
Well,
hear it
because we
mentioned.
were too young by the time it was like
Right.
really on and popping. Like, and by the
I just
time
know
we
that
were
it
old
was
enough to probably
wild.
go, I think it's over now. I don't know if they still
Oh yeah,
do
no,
it.
it's not a thing anymore. I just have you seen those TikToks or videos at least of people seeing their parents at Freaknik,
Mm-mm.
finding them in those videos? It's so hilarious. The documentaries that have come out about like the late '90s, early 2000s, those type of partings and stuff. You'll find people who are in their 20s now, who had kids, who had kids most likely produced at these parties. There's one, and it was a Black family, and the son sees his mom, and his mom, I forget which one documentary, I think it was Freaknik, is like in a bikini in a car, and he's like, "What are you doing there?" He's like, "That's you." And the mom is just like laughing her ass off. She's like, "I never expected anybody to see that." He's like, "That's you. My friends are watching this show." This man has got to be in his 20s, 20 something. He's a big boy. And he's just like, "What are you doing out there?" He's like, "Where were your parents?"
Like, that's interesting. I wouldn't think there a documentary on Black Twitter would be where we're at now, but I'm glad it is, because I feel like there's a lot of Black culture things that like don't get talked about in like
Mhm.
in our internet space rather.
And they interview some of the people who have become like meme icons, like the one girl who's crouching and squinting like this.
Oh
You know
yeah.
the one girl who's like on her knees, or not on
Yeah.
her knees, but she's like kneeling over, and she's like, I don't know. Do you know who I'm talking about, Jerome?
Yeah.
No.
She's like she's in like a pink suit,
Uh-huh.
and she's like kind of like, it's one of those like when you're trying to read something, or when they're trying to drop subtle hints but you don't know.
I have not seen this. No.
You've seen her before. Here, let me pull her up. Jerome, how was your week while I search for this meme of this lady?
My week was good. I'm gonna hit y'all with some ASMR real quick because once again I'm drinking another. God damn it! I got on my pop filter. Shit. Canada Dry Fruit Splash, cherry
All
flavored,
right.
zero sugar. They're delicious. Well, that's gonna be sticky
Cheers,
now.
everyone.
God dang it! Everyone drink something. I say it every week. Grab a snack, grab a beverage. Well, everyone's got bevs today. All right.
You're the only non-alcoholic one there, though.
That's true. But that means I'm the designated driver of this podcast. Yay.
Hey.
But it's my week's been good. I've been rewatching episodes of SpongeBob. We were talking about this earlier off mic, that I'm enjoying the rewatch. Like I love SpongeBob so much. It's a timeless show. Never ceases to be funny. And especially the first 3 seasons. And if you haven't watched SpongeBob for whatever reason, whether that be you didn't have Nickelodeon or you just relate to the game, watch SpongeBob. You will have a great time. You'll nonstop be laughing. Everything will be grand. It'll be great. Don't have much media news for you today, as like for our stuff I'm watching and not watching, because I've just been rewatching a lot of old stuff. No new trailers came out that I was really interested in. up, Jonathan. I can see you have your picture ready.
I do.
Like already looking at it now, I can tell you I've not seen that image before.
You've
Yes,
never
how
seen
have
this
you
one?
not?
Wait, how do I
That is a
get
lie.
Here, I got you. There you go.
it? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I've not seen
You've
this
never
before.
seen this?
No.
How? There is no possible way you have not seen this before.
There's plenty of possible ways. I don't know. I don't follow people that use this meme. All right, there's a lot of memes out there.
This is like, no, you've seen this. You've had to see this. People do this for Halloween now.
I am telling
Right.
you, I have not seen this
I am
image.
telling
know
you, I
what
don't
to tell
believe you. I think, no, you've had to have seen this.
People use this meme for like a variety of things, like confusion, for like I'm tired, for like
You're trying to
Yeah,
see
it's a lot
something
of
really small, and you're
mhm.
being like really dramatic
for the
about it.
listening audience, by the way, if you're just listening to the audio version,
Oh,
it's a
I'm
woman
sure they could.
in a pink
The description we
suit
gave, they
with
would absolutely
glasses.
already know.
It's a black woman. We have international fans. All right, this is an American thing.
This is not an
Clearly.
American thing.
And she's squinting at something real hard.
She said on the Black Twitter documentary, she said that this was
Can't drink.
actually because she was taking photos of herself, or someone was taking pictures of her in her like nice little pink outfit, and she was bending down a little bit too long, and then she stood up fast, and then both her knees popped, and so this was immediately after both knees popped, and she's trying to regain, her stance.
I could see that. Like that's a face of pain. Like, ah,
Mm-hmm.
I knew I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, damn. That's the caption for this photo. GUHDAN. God damn.
So that's
It
that.
makes me
That's
wonder.
that.
We should do an episode on what memes Jerome has and hasn't seen. Because if you have
Ooh,
not
we
seen
should-
that, I need to know what other memes you have not seen.
We should just do our favorite memes, like an episode on our favorite memes.
Like
we should do
literally
that.
75% of them will be SpongeBob memes because SpongeBob has permeated the internet.
I don't believe you haven't seen that one. I feel
Well,
like
you
haven't,
cannot
just
believe it
never
all
did-
you
I
want, but
don't.
that's true.
It's not possible. So I'm assuming you've seen it, but just like it's not stayed in your head. That's the only explanation.
I don't know what to tell you, man. All right, I haven't seen that image before today.
You absolutely have.
But
All right,
speaking of
Jerome,
also
I kind of hijacked your
black
your
things
updates.
that are hitting the internet. We got like the one piece of media news I will talk about that I think would be interesting for us to talk about is that we had a new trailer for a video game upcoming that I don't know if either of you have played or heard of, but Assassin's Creed released their newest trailer for their newest game. It's not anything major. It's just a cinematic trailer, so it doesn't tell you anything about the game in any way, shape, or form. It is strictly just visuals, just to like get you excited for the game. So there's that. But it has caused a lot of discourse. I'll pull up at least some of the trailers. You can see what's going on. So that's this is some of the trailer. It looks great. It takes place in Japan, and there's a lot of really interesting stuff going on. That's one of the main characters, Naue, and there's the other character, Yasuke, who is a samurai. And it's causing a lot of a lot of controversy right now, and I'm sure you can already pick up why. This being a game that takes place in Japan. Apparently the white populace, and seemingly the white populace, has an issue, out of the, so not all of them, just some, with the fact that one of the main characters of this game is Yasuke, the only recorded black samurai of Japanese history. And their complaints range from why isn't the main character Japanese, which I would point you to Exhibit A, which is the fact that this game has not one, but two main characters, one of which is a Japanese woman who's front and center, sitting right there. So for all the people who are like, why is the main character Japanese? I'm like, she is Japanese. You have a Japanese main character right there. Here's a close-up of her. She is clearly Japanese. So that doesn't hold water. Then the second complaint is, well, why isn't he a samurai? Or is he a real samurai? And their argument being that in recorded history, apparently, Yasuke was hired by the head of the samurai at that time to be basically a retainer, like what is termed as a retainer. But according to as much, because there's not as much history on Yasuke, who, real person, real character, they've done a couple things with him in media, including making an anime. And in fact, they're making a movie right now. And which is really interesting, and I'm wondering if Chadwick Boseman will get some attention on that, because Chadwick Boseman, before he passed, this is one of his projects that he was working on, of trying to get produced and made, was a movie about Yasuke, or Yasuke, however you pronounce it. But apparently, according to history books, yes, he was a retainer per se, but he was trained as a samurai. He was a bodyguard to I think his name would have been Domo, or the head of the samurai at that time. And while the term may have been retainer, he was treated with the same respect and dignity as a samurai. So for all intents and purposes, even if maybe they didn't give him the official title samurai, he was a samurai. So that don't hold water either. And lastly, and the most importantly, this is fucking Assassin's Creed. It's a video game. None of it is real. All of it's fictional history. You know what else didn't exist? In Assassin's Creed 2, which takes place in Renaissance Italy, you meet Leonardo da Vinci, who builds for you all of the gadgets that he never made, because those blueprints would have never worked during that time period, so that you could have gameplay mechanics like flying over buildings and using grappling hooks and all types of other shit. But you don't complain about that. No, you didn't have shit to say about that because you love Assassin's Creed 2. So don't give me this is unrealistic. It's not real history. Bullshit, it's not real history. It's Assassin's Creed. It's never been real history. It's all been fictional. There's literally, the Pope in Assassin's Creed 2 has a magic wizard staff that he got from ancient aliens that existed on this planet before human beings did, who left behind ancient magical mystical items. This is all lore in Assassin's Creed. So don't give me the whole it's not real history argument either.
Quick question, random question. How many Assassin's Creeds has there been?
Total, probably about like 11 or somewhere around there. There's been a lot of them.
I know of the second Assassin's Creed for some reason. Very aware of that one. I genuinely don't know much about the video game, or how many sequels there been, or how many, I don't know what you call that for video games.
Hell, the last game, there's it's supposed to be Viking culture, so you're playing as a Viking, and you literally meet Odin, the god.
Hey, some people believe him to be real.
I'm just saying, it's like there's so many things that already aren't real. And it's like, and a lot of people, and luckily most of the gaming community has been calling people out and being like, you're just being racist. All right? You don't like the fact that it's a Japanese game. It doesn't matter if it was a Japanese main character. And we know this because you have one, and you don't even give her the time of day. Which is even dumber, because there's a little game called Ghost of Tsushima that also exists, that has a male Japanese character and is basically Assassin's Creed. It's just not Assassin's Creed, but all the gameplay mechanics are the same. You can sneak around and knife people in the back. You can climb over buildings and rooftops. You got a bunch of series of weapons that you can use. All that shit. It's basically Assassin's Creed. It's just they beat Assassin's Creed to doing feudal Japan. But it's like, I don't get it. Or rather, I do get it, but it's this thing where I'm it's only frustrating because literally since I want to say Assassin's Creed 2 or 3, all these Assassin's Creed fans have been complaining that Assassin's Creed would not go to feudal Japan because they wanted to see Assassin's Creed but with samurai. And since then, since Assassin's Creed 3, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games since then, and more on the way, by the way. And now you finally get a game in feudal Japan, and you motherfuckers can't seem to get your shit together to just enjoy what you have.
Remember the beginning of the podcast where we used to censor ourselves when we first started?
Do you remember when I used to be the biggest swearer on on these shows, these episodes?
I'm very angry about this, okay?
Hey, you can feel the passion. You can feel the passion, and I appreciate that.
Because this feels stupid. It feels like I'm like, why? Where are the complaints coming from? All right, if you don't want to play Assassin's Creed with a black man as a main character, play Ghost of Tsushima. You'll have a great time. It'll be fantastic. You can play it on PC now, so if you don't have a PlayStation, that's fine too. You can enjoy yourself. The rest of us will be having fun playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, the new Assassin's Creed game with a black main character and a Japanese main character. Don't matter that she's a female. It just like she's a Japanese main character. That's all that is required.
All right. And
So yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Pick it up when it comes out. That's all I have to say.
Lovely.
Pick up Assassin's Creed Shadows. Support this game. Prove them wrong. I mean, I don't know. It probably will still be mediocre, to be quite honest, because the last few Assassin's Creed games have been. Oh, sorry, my internet froze for a sec. So if you started, I heard you started. So
Oh, I was
no,
like, was
you're
that
good.
you or was that me?
It's
I'm
back
so used
now.
to
I
my
don't-
internet freezing.
no, that was me. That was me. I was freezing. So sorry. So I didn't hear what you said.
I was gonna say.
That's why I was talking, and then
Speaking of secret assassins, Monkey Man.
Monkey Man.
Monkey Man. It is.
We have had a primate centric last two
I'm gonna be honest.
episodes.
I didn't fully watch the movie.
Wait, how did you
What?
not fully watch it?
So
Where
here's
did
the
you?
thing. Originally, we were supposed to review it, audience. We didn't end up reviewing it because I wanted to see Kingdom of Planet of the Apes a little more. That's how we ended up to our review of Planet of the Apes. Then when we went to watch it, it was actually out of theaters. And then I found another version online, and I only watched like kind of the beginning
Excuse
half
me.
because I don't know why. It looked good and it started off good, but my brain was like, well, I want to watch something else. So
I feel
you
that.
guys
I feel
really
that.
wanted to review it, and I felt bad, and I kept delaying it, so I didn't want to take it away from you guys. But I
That's
can talk
all
about
right.
the
It's
first
fine.
half.
We'll
Wait,
do.
so Jerome, did you watch it in theaters or?
No. I also didn't get a chance to watch it in theaters, and that's Alex
my
was.
fault.
I like
That was
Alex.
my
I
fault.
like you don't have to take responsibility. It's also I could have watched it on my own all those
That's true.
times. I didn't. I just didn't. So it's not your fault. I just had other things were going on, so I didn't get a chance to watch it in theaters. But I did watch it on YouTube. Paid my $20 to rent it for 48 hours and watched it on YouTube. Yeah, so I have seen the whole movie. And it is, if you want to watch it, audience, go to YouTube, buy it for $20 or rent it rather for $20. You can buy it for 40 or whatever.
Oh dang! Movies are $40 now to buy.
Only on YouTube. Like if you buy it anywhere else, it's probably a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, if this is your first time listening to one of our reviews, we have a system where first we go through our non-spoiler thoughts. We'll say if we liked or didn't like the movie, kind of our general non-spoiler thoughts, and then we'll give you a warning before we dive into our non-spoiler section. Jerome, what did you think of Monkey Man? Starring, written, and directed by Dev Patel.
This is true. Yes. Actually, yeah, because I think I've been liking our new format of giving the whole thing. So hold on 1 second. Monkey Man, I'm on IMDb.
Oh
Load.
shoot! Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah,
to
so Monkey
to
Man,
mention.
for those who don't know, Monkey Man is about an anonymous young man unleashes a campaign of vengeance against the corrupt leaders who murdered his mother and continue to systematically victimize the poor and powerless. This is directed by Dev Patel, written by Dev Patel, Paul Angunuela, and John Colley, and I think some others as well, because there's an arrow here. And also stars Dev Patel, Sharlto Copley, Peter Bash, and some other people as well. And yeah, this movie was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the direction. So, kudos to Dev Patel as a first-time director. I don't know if maybe this has been a dream project of his, and so he's been working on it for a long time. But you could tell the passion. You can see the artistry, and that he's really been focusing on watching a lot of other people's movies that are modern action movies that are going on right now and trying to infuse that into this movie. And he's been doing a really good job of implementing that, but still adding, I think, some of his own flavor. Because there's definitely a Bollywood-esque type of edge to this movie that's really good too. And with Indian cinema really hitting America really hard right now, stuff like RRR is really popular, and other Bollywood movies have been like making their way to like become more popular with American audiences. You could tell where those influences are in this movie too. And Dev Patel's great, but I mean, he's great in everything. So
Yeah.
I had no doubts that he was going to be great in this movie. And he definitely has there's a humanity to him. There's a softness to him, but there is when he has those action scenes, he gets hard. All right, and clearly he wanted to do these action scenes well because he is jacked for this movie. He's not The Rock big, but when he takes his shirt off, it's just like, man, you're all muscled up. You're ready. You see those biceps and stuff. Like he was ready to do this role, and so kudos to him. I think, but I don't blame you, Alex, though, for not sticking with this movie, because this movie does drag in some places. Not by so much that it makes the movie boring or something like that, but it's just the movie, especially the first act, ramps up to this really big action sequence, and then it's we just drop off a cliff to just slow this movie down really hard in near what seems like either the first part of the second act or the back half of the second act. I mean, ramp back up for the third act, the big action sequence at the end, but it's just that sequence is so long, it really does take a while for the movie to kind of get back into its footing. And I think that's the only real major issue I have with the movie. And also that there's some side characters that you are seemingly more important to the plot than they're portrayed. One character in particular, who's this girl we meet, who is what seemingly like an escort in this or a slave possibly in this shady club. And while she didn't do a bad job, she's a great actress, and all of her scenes are great. We know so little about this character that all the stuff with her just feels tacked on, where I'm I'm sorry, it's not that I don't care, but why are you here? Why did the movie focus on you at all, to be quite honest? You don't matter even to the main character that much. The main character barely regards you, because he barely regards anyone. And that's, I think, the thing. The supporting cast in this, while great, everyone's great, they're only ever needed as the character needs them, and he barely does. So you don't get a lot of time with them. And so a lot of the moments that are supposed to be big moments with these supporting characters feel fleeting. There's only one main supporting character who gets a little bit more to do, and that's because he is more important to the plot than the rest, and he has so much charisma with Peter Bash, who plays Alfonso. Alfonso's great, but he adds so much character to the role that you're kind of with him. But outside of him, everyone else is just okay, you're very one note. It's not that I don't like you or I don't like your performance. It's just I'm not as worried about you as I am the main character. So that's my only major complaints. Overall, though, I still think the movie's pretty good. This is a great directorial debut. I'm curious to see what Dev Patel does next after this, and I would love to see him do more action movies. I think that's the best parts of these movies of this movie is the action sequences and how well they're filmed and edited. Also, throwing in some hip hop into this very Bollywood-esque feeling film. It also was a nice stylistic choice. I thought it was fun. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Jonathan, what are your thoughts about Monkey Man? Because you've seen this movie a long time ago compared to us.
I was looking up my ticket. First, I looked up when this movie was released. It was released on April 5th, and that's when I saw it over a month and a half ago, which I did not realize it was that long ago.
I thought it had only been a couple weeks, man. Again, I am sorry I delayed you on seeing this film.
No,
that was all me.
And I didn't realize it had been that long either. So I might be rusty on some of the specific details, but I do know how it made me feel, and I walked out of this movie being I want to see what more Dev Patel can do in the future, because this for a directorial and writer debut, this is very promising. This is not even promising. This is like fantastic. I thought it was a gripping movie. I was, on the edge of my seat at certain points. I was entertained. I laughed. Sorry. I laughed. I was touched emotionally. Uh, Dev Patel, he's been doing lately a lot of like darker roles, and I think he's found his
Yeah, the
niche.
Green Knight especially was pretty dark and pretty.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that one, but I know it was like a dark.
So good. I
Yeah, I
loved
need
it.
to watch
I love
that.
the dark fantasy elements they took with that story and added in there.
Mm. So I think he's found his niche, and I just looked up, and his next movie is a psychological horror film. So not his next movie that he's making, but the next movie that he's starring in is a psychological horror film. So I'm like, yeah, I'm seated for that. But yeah, seeing all of the elements combined, the action, the drama, music, the Indian culture, I thought it was really engaging. And yeah, while it maybe did dip at certain points, I think the action did bring it up to where it needed to be when it did hit. Maybe watching it in the theater did help a little bit because I was like, forced to be there, and it's on like a larger screen where you hear the music and it's all up in your face. But overall, I was very entertained. I didn't even know until I saw the end credits that he had written and directed this. I know that he was like involved in a major way, but I didn't realize that he had written and directed this, which is very impressive.
Apparently, according to, at least this is what Wikipedia says, but it says that Dev Patel let them know that he was making his directorial debut back in 2018 about this movie. And initially, Patel tried to recruit previous collaborator Neil Blomkamp to direct. Neil Blomkamp, if you don't know, he's the director of District 9, District 9, Elysium, and Chappie. Which Chappie did star Dev Patel, but he's done a lot of
stuff.
Chappie. I don't think I ever saw Chappie
for a very brief moment, because he's like, I think the scientist who builds Chappie, and then I think he dies, isn't there anymore for some reason.
I remember loving that movie. I did not.
But
I don't think I ever saw Chappie. What is really quick Chappie?
It's the robot.
He builds a robot who has sentience, and then Chappie goes out into the world and learns about the world in a futuristic world where
we played it in IMAX.
Becomes a criminal and all types of stuff. It's basically robot who is born with innocence learns about the world. It's every other,
and evil
every
people
movie
are like trying to destroy him or something.
Wasn't that iRobot?
That's a lot of movies.
Oh, Chappie, wasn't that actually about, or wasn't that the name? There was this robot that hitchhiked across Canada, and it came into America, and the first 2 days it got destroyed.
No, this is a fictional movie. This is not about.
I'm saying, is it like roughly based on the poor hitchhiking robot that did exist in reality, and Americans just destroyed it and left it on the side of the road?
Maybe
because America.
I'm not sure.
But I see it now. I see the thing, and I vaguely remember having it in IMAX.
But yeah, sorry. I just wanted to mention that he's like, Dev Patel wasn't sure if he's going to direct it, but Blomkamp declined and suggested that he directed himself instead. And he was like, and he did state, he said, I think the action genre has sometimes been abused by the system. I wanted to give it a real soul, real trauma, real pain, and I wanted to infuse it with a little bit of culture. Which I think he did accomplish that, at least.
He did that. Yeah. And I appreciated the revelations in the movie when they did come up. And overall, I just think it was well done, and I'm excited to see what he does next, especially if he does more. Especially if he creates more projects that are rooted in the Indian culture. I'd be interested to see those and different kind of flipping when we think, a lot of times when you think of Indian movies, you just straight up think of Bollywood. But I want to see more of these types of movies or different types of movies coming from the Indian culture in the American space. So like, give us some action movies, give us some, I don't know, just give us all the stuff from that the Indian culture has to offer.
I will say I like this a bit more than I did Polite Society, and I really wanted to like Polite Society last year, and I feel
Yeah.
like this is like a huge step up from Polite Society as far as
I
like
really
sticking
like
to
Polite
the
Society.
theme and using the culture in its own way. Not that Polite Society was bad. It's just like I like as far as like wanting like an Indian movie made with Western sensibilities, or a movie rather made by somebody from South Asia with Western sensibilities, like what that looks like and feels like. And I feel like this movie captures that in a better way than Polite Society did.
I agree. Alex, of the parts of the movie that you watched, what did you like, dislike?
Well, Dave Patel, and I think you guys have sung his praises pretty much to how much I can. Fantastic actor, no matter what he's in, and knowing that he directed and wrote this film is pretty cool. I just couldn't really get into it because you're right, it does take a bit of a dive. And I like to blame my ADHD for this. If the first few minutes of a film don't have a good enough hold on me, then I really can't sit through the film.
Especially if you're watching it at home, I can see that, because even if I'm really invested in a movie at home, sometimes I just have to pause it, and it's a matter of time. Who knows when I'm gonna get back to it? So
Yeah, often I start movies, I'm not even sitting down. I have the TV as loud as I can, as respectful to my neighbors, so that I can still listen and move around. My favorite time I've ever done this is with the documentary about the Fire Festival, when I was literally put it on making dinner, and I started listening to it more and more. And there was a point where I remember this, I had my food. I literally sat down at the edge where the guy was talking about going down on another guy to ensure water at this festival.
He said he would have. He didn't say he did it.
No, yeah, right. He would have. He got surprisingly close. He got horrifyingly close. That the guy who was selling the water was like, "Dude, just pay me later. Don't do this. We're not doing this." But I remember
it's just water, fam.
He was
no,
like,
you don't understand. It's not just water.
He was
it's
talking
everything
about it, and I literally sat down with my food, and I was like, "Oh my god!" So there's like these moments where film, has to hold on to me, where I'm going to sit down and be like, "Oh my god, I need to see more." And unfortunately, at the beginning of Monkey Man, there wasn't much. I did hear really great things about, the fighting scenes and things like that. And had I had that attention span, I think I really would have enjoyed it from just from the reviews I've heard. And I do love seeing Indian or South Asian culture in films. It always brings a nice sense of memory for me, because I do have a best friend. She's Pakistani, and I love watching movies from Bollywood and seeing movies of her culture, and having something that represents South Asian in movies nowadays is so beautiful to me. And I love the progression it has made into Western media, and I hope to see more of that from other cultures as well. The just there's so much we can do, and just this little much is just so great. And I'm just excited to see if Dave Patel is also moving into writing and directing. I'm just going to be so excited to see what he's going to bring to the table too.
For sure. Well, that is our non-spoiler section. If you want to hop off because you haven't seen the movie yet, go ahead and watch the movie. Like Jerome said, it's on YouTube. Go ahead and watch it, and then come back to our spoiler section that we are about to get into. Keep up with us, The First Ones to Die, everywhere on all the social platforms. And Jerome, do you have any pressing thoughts of Monkey Man, spoiler thoughts, as we get into all things spoilers of
Yeah.
While you guys do
Monkey
that,
Man?
I'm going to grab a snack real quick.
He should have lit his ass on fire. That's all I need to say. I'm just saying.
You're talking about the
if
spiritual
someone
guy?
burned my mother to death.
Oh, you're talking
You
about...
better believe the next time I see his ass after I whoop the shit out of him, I'm bringing some lighter fluid and I'm lighting his ass up like the 4th of July barbecue. Okay? This is the only way to make it right.
Barbecue.
It's the only way to make it right. He deserved to be lit on fire, and then you piss on the ashes. That's the only way.
Good
But he
Lord,
ki-
what did I miss?
He ended up killing him regardless.
He only beat him to death. That's not good enough. That's not good enough.
So
Revenge
Alex,
and
okay,
vengeance.
And literally, my
Alex.
apartment's not very large. I was just staring at the oatmeal cream pies that I got on my counter. And I was like, I really want one. I'm like, they're not going to start anything while I'm gone. The 2 seconds from here. And all I hear is you should have set them on fire and pissed on the ashes.
Okay, so Alex, for context, because I think the
need it.
revelation happens.
I don't think you made it to this part of the
I
movie.
did not.
Right.
I did not. Please.
So the guy that is coming after him, what's his
Mhm.
name?
Well, Rana is the general he's after. Dev Patel's character named Kid he's called Kid because he doesn't have a name, so he's just Kid. in
No,
this movie.
who's the guy that's trying to kill him? That's trying to
Rana.
kill Kid. Rana.
Rana Singh.
Rana. It turns out that he has these flashbacks throughout the movie, and you see that his hands they're like disfigured.
Burned.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
At first he
turns
says they're
out-
bleach burns, but you later
Right.
find out what they really are.
Yeah, you find out through a series of flashbacks late in the movie that the reason why his hands are burned is because Rana came into his house, sexually assaulted his mom.
Well, during a raid on top of that, like it's a raid against his entire village of people at that time because they didn't worship the god that the guy who's like the big political leader in this movie it's a religious raid and also an abuse of the caste system type thing.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
because they're not rich and they don't worship the god he worships, he has like the military come and raid their entire village. So everybody's dying
Oh.
around them already. And then Rana comes
This
into their hut and she hides him. And then like all the stuff happens.
But he can like still see, and then he kills his mom, and lights her on fire.
did like he attempts
she-
to sexually assault him, or sexually assaults her, but then she
gets
like
him. Yeah,
she like nicks him with a knife and cuts like cuts a scar
Wait,
on
his
his
own mother?
Dev's mother. Yes,
Oh.
like our kid's mother. He like Rana
Okay.
comes in. The general tries to like force himself on her. But she has a secret knife that she has behind her back, and she uses
Okay.
it and slashes at him, which pisses him off. And instead of sexually assaulting her, he just regularly assaults her by taking off his belt and just proceeding to whip her on the floor and then choke her. And then while she's still got minimal amounts of breath left in her body, he pours gasoline on her and then lights her on fire, then makes her and has her burned to death.
and
Kid burns-
Kid tries to save her. That's why he has the burn scars.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, I'm on Jerome's side with this.
That's what I'm saying. It's not enough. It wasn't
with you.
enough to beat him to death. I don't care. You don't whip my mama like she's a runaway slave, then proceed to burn her alive. And I'm just gonna beat you to death? Nah, fam. You're only gonna wish you were dead. I'm starting from
I'm
feet
all with the
up.
lighting her on fire alive. Yeah, no. Was my mom? Absolutely. That man's getting lit on fire one body part at a time.
First, I'm cutting underneath every single one of your toe and fingernails.
Ah,
Ooh,
no.
no,
And then-
ooh.
And then we're just
That
working our way
visual.
around. I am going to make you wish hell will be your vacation after I'm done with you.
Is that your tagline?
It might as well be.
On this podcast, we support our mothers and we love them.
Happy Mother's Day.
Check out our Mother's Day episode
Love you,
from
mom.
last year.
I wish you would, all right? Listen, I'm a Christian man, but even God has fury. And you'll know the length of mine if you burn my mother alive.
Good Lord. Go on.
Anything
So
else?
that's fair. Yeah, no, I'm on Jerome's side with that. I can see why vengeance is needed. It's a necessity.
Mhm.
Although I will say, this man is the worst at making plans. Like, cause he at first it's very smart. You know, he gets the job at the club, then he knows that like Rana and like the main party that is responsible for the death of his peoples, they hang out at. and then he gets the job. Like, he steals the purse, which that was a really cool sequence. I love the way that sequence
I
is
was
filmed.
just
when he
about to
steals the
say
purse.
that scene where they have basically all of the people in the village involved in the stealing of the purse, and then it gets back to him.
Which, in my
That was
mind,
really
I'm just
cool.
like, this seems like a lot of people to have to go through just to steal one purse. I mean, I feel like after that, once they hit the third guy could just give it to me. I didn't need like the other 6 or 7 it had
You
to
have
go
to
through
be
to get back
sure.
to me. But it was a very cool sequence. I love the way it was filmed. And I think that's the strongest thing about this movie. The visual storytelling is on a very amazing level in this movie. Because like even when he gives his fake name, where he's like, "What's your name?" Bobby, and then the camera just pans across the Bobby's bleach powder or whatever. Instantly, we know that that's a fake name, even though he doesn't have to say it. He doesn't need to tell anybody, but the fact that he paused before he said his own name, the fact that he passed the Bobby bleach powder thing, like you automatically just know. And it's like that's great direction right there for us to like the way the information is given to us as an audience, because he doesn't treat us like idiots. He's like, you'll put 2 and 2 together, but also I'm gonna like, like be a little clever about how we reveal certain information. Same thing with the dog, where like he's feeding the dog, and at first you think it's cute. He likes animals. He's a very nice guy. No, the dog's a ploy. He's a means to an end. I need to they're gonna check me at the door, so I need to get a gun in here. What better way than to have a stray dog bring it to me in the alleyway? Like it's all really works together very well in that way. And so that's great. But it's like he like does all this, and then the rage keeps bubbling up. The closer he gets to his target, like going to the VIP rooms where they're all scummy and slimy, and then he just decides, you know what? I can't take this no more. I'm going in that bathroom and I'm shooting that motherfucker. So he just go, and after he fails to do that, no plan, no escape plan, no no clear direction of what to do next. He didn't even think about. And mind you, I'm like, okay, even if you killed Rana, didn't you want to kill the guy in charge too? How are you going to get to him?
I don't know why I
the
wouldn't just
religious
kill
leader?
everybody.
Or the
Yeah.
spiritual leader? Well, he ultimately did.
Yeah, after he took some time and went to a temple ran by a bunch of transgender women that were like, you need to chill out, bro. Like you clearly know how to fight, but you need to train up some, maybe get some skills, learn a few things before you go back out there.
He's been through a lot. All right, and he doesn't have really, it seems like, any proper formal training. He's doing the best he can. Give him a break. He's
Right.
trying to think
You
about
can't-
a
you
lot
can't
of
ask-
emotions
You
going
can't
on.
ask a scorned person to be rational, right? They have.
No. If it
I'm
was
just
me,
saying,
I'm getting a flamethrower, and everything's gonna burn.
everything burns.
Everything burns.
See,
So that
I'm
happened
just
to my mama. Everything burns.
Granted, though, I'm the type of person where I get angry. I don't do things. I make plans to do things. Because if I'm going to kill somebody, I at least want to know I can get away with it. So,
Oh, if I'm killing somebody, it's not about getting away with something. If I'm straight up murdering someone, they're gonna flamethrower.
no. Because if I
Everything's
do
gonna
kill
burn.
them, I want them to know that my life will still be grand after they're dead. I don't want them to know that I also suffered for my consequences. I want them to know that their death means so little to me that I will enjoy an umbrella drink under the sun on a beach after they're long dead and become food for the worms underneath the fucking ground.
Alex, I'm just looking.
I don't know what else to say to that. That's one kind of.
I think about vengeance a lot, okay? I'm a very vengeful
You
man.
think about vengeance a lot.
Anyway.
I talk about flamethrowers and suddenly I'm the bad guy, but our friend group doesn't know that you're thinking about vengeance. I've gotten called an arsonist.
Well, listen, I'm a planner.
Clearly.
See?
But no, I'm just saying, like, cause he almost, if it wasn't for the fact that the cops were incompetent, he would have died, or at least been in prison. That's the only reason he escaped.
I really liked that bathroom fight scene. That was really cool.
It was really good, though. It was really good. That poor, I wouldn't say that poor dude, because he's probably also a scumbag, but he had nothing to do with anything that was going on in there, and he got shot. He got all shot up, got beat up, head smacked on the toilet and everything. And I was like, God dang, that dude was just taking a dump. He was going to go and wash his hands and leave. And now he's a part of a whole scuffle that has nothing to do with it.
I mean, he was in there for a reason. So, you're right. He's probably a scumbag too.
Yeah, that's true. I thought though he was gonna kill him with the bleach powder because he snorts the cocaine, like Rana snorts the cocaine, and it does burn, I guess, because his nose is bleeding. So I guess he did put it in there, but I thought he was gonna put enough in there to kill him. But instead, instead of going for the gun, or using the gun, but I guess it wasn't enough. Maybe if he didn't put enough in there to kill him, maybe just enough to get him to be by himself in the bathroom. So he could get him.
And
alone,
it was
I
midway
guess.
through the movie. They couldn't kill him yet.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, granted though, Dev Patel, these action sequences, he's great in all of them, even the ones in the ring when he's got the monkey mask on, which that's also a professional mask because the fact that no matter what damage he sustains, he's bleeding from the mouth and nose, like it has functional enough nose holes that any blood coming out of his nose will pour out as if it actually is his face. I'm like, that's a really good mask. That means it's like on there.
What did we think of Homeboy?
Wait,
Sorry.
quick question. Did the monkey mask represent anything? Did they give any details about that? Why he chose a monkey mask?
I assume because he worships
it's like-
Hanuman, like his village and his mom taught him about Hanuman, and that's a big figure in this movie, like the god Hanuman. So I that's what I assume is the only connecting tissue.
Yeah, that, and they kind of do that like disposition or like backstory on Hanuman in like the intro of the movie, but I think it also could represent like the dance monkey kind of trope or idea or whatever, how he's all his life been told what to do and now he's taking the power into his own hands, I guess.
Yeah, that could be it too. Because it's Hanuman, it says here, is a Hindu god whose shape is half monkey, half human. So that's probably like the biggest motif more than anything else.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, I think that's, and he is, and that's what even on Wikipedia says that if like at the end of like he collapses from his injuries because of his reminiscing about his mom and his devotion to Hanuman. So he does he is a big worshiper of Hanuman. And although because funny you were talking about when you're watching at home, I was watching at home and I got into it, especially at the end in that ending ring fight when he finally is like kicking ass in his monkey form and he does the beating on the chest like I was like, hell yeah, Monkey Man, and they call him Monkey Man too. So I was like, he's finally become Monkey Man. He even moves like a monkey in the ring. Where he's like crouching and stuff, and he's just like a monkey. I was like, that's really cool.
I died laughing. Was it the first? I think this was before that final fight where he was like, "All right, I'm not gonna just lose on purpose anymore." And then it was literally the first punch
one
into the
kick.
guy,
and that dude went
the
down.
guy gets knocked out.
He's like, boom.
I thought that was so funny when they're like, just get him out of he's just like, get up. I'm like, even if he is conscious after that kick, he's probably like, you can't pay me enough money in the world to get up right now. He's gonna kick me like that again. Hell no, I'm gonna stay right here, just pretend to be knocked out if I'm not already knocked out, like I'm not getting back up. He kicked my whole face standing straight up. He didn't even crouch or nothing. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting up.
The whole crowd, they were like, "Ooh!" There was a whole reaction too.
Listen, that's what it was like when Mike Tyson was in his prime. There were some fights where literally it was one punch, 2 hits, Mike hitting him, and he hitting the ground. Whoever him is.
I've seen some UFC fights like that, and it's always the person talking shit beforehand too. They're like, "Oh yeah," or like pushing the other fighter out of the light and camera. And then they get in the ring, and that other fighter gives them one good hit, and they just go down. And it's like, you were talking so much shit before, man.
Listen,
Don't ever talk shit before a fight.
I've always said it. If you are about to be in a fight, or challenge someone to a fight, and you're talking all this shit, you're saying like, "Oh, you finna get messed up. I'm finna whoop your ass." All this stuff, and they are not only are they not responding, but they are staring you dead in the face and standing stone still like this. Don't fight them, because that means they know something. They know something that you don't know. Either they're really skilled, they know where to hit you. They've got some boys waiting around the corner or something like that. They know something that you don't, and you are fitting to lose. And there are multiple times people talking smack to him, and he's just standing there, just all cool. And I was just like, that'd be the moment that I'm like, he ain't saying nothing back. He ain't reacting. Like, he ain't not even angry or nothing. Now I'm gonna just leave. Like, I'm gonna count my. There's one point where a dude got up, and I swear he was trying to leave. Like during that kitchen fight, when he kicked everyone's ass with a whole kitchen, every single pot and pan in there became a weapon that day, and even the damn oven door became a weapon.
I feel like those scene fights where they use like random objects around them, and there's always that one that gets like I got hit with a frying pan. I got my head beat in 5 times with the oven door. How is that fair? How is that fair that you put my head in the fridge and like slam the refrigerator door, but you just like maybe hit that guy once with the cooking pan? That's not fair. That's never a fair fight. It's always one you just do brutally too much.
Listen, I'm just like, there's one guy who just got up, and I swear he was trying to leave. And he was like, "Nah, you brought your ass in here. You got knocked out too. Come here. Don't like you don't get to leave." You know,
I remember.
You made a conscious decision to come in here. That means you made a conscious decision to get this ass whooping. Come here.
Getting involved by proxy.
Right.
Dev Patel was great in all the action sequences. He really devoted a lot of effort into filming them, making them very like visceral and just like you feel every hit, every impact. But also there's some comedy in there too when he's like trying to he's about to jump through that window. And he's like, "Oh, all right," and then just rams into it and just falls down. Because I'm like, yeah, because some window, especially Dev Patel, I feel like me and Dev Patel, even though Dev Patel's clearly gotten in shape for this movie, he and is very muscled up. I'm sure me and him weigh the exact same. And I'm telling you now, there's a lot of windows I could throw my full body weight into. It is not cracking. It's like I'm just gonna hit the floor. Because I'm too small, too skinny.
I like that bait and switch because it was like, oh, it's about to go down. He's about to crash through this window. And then,
although if he had crashed through the window, he probably would have escaped a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. That was an intense scene, though. I that was one of the moments where I was on the edge of my seat.
Mm-hmm.
What was your guys' like least favorite scene? What do you think the movie could have done without?
I'm trying to remember.
Any scene with dialogue with that one chick who's like the prostitute. I'm sorry, like, and it's not that she's, again, like I said in my general thoughts, it's not that she's a bad character. It's just that because that plot really goes nowhere. Like, I mean, it goes somewhere in the sense that she gets her revenge against the lady who is the head of the prostitutes, you know, the one who's out here selling a lot of these girls from around the world. Like she's the one who kills her. But outside of that, like that's pretty much it. And even then, I'm not invested in her, so I'm not invested in that conflict really as much. Like it's a thing where, and especially because she disappears for a large part of the movie. In fact, that scene they talk in the back alley is probably the most dialogue she gets. Because outside of that, every time he sees her, it's just looks. She looks concerned for his safety. He looks concerned for her safety. And that's pretty much it. They don't talk ever again, I don't think, after that. Now, granted, that could be, the implication could be that they don't need to. Because they do know each other. They work at the same place. But
they know each other on like a spiritual level.
Or that too, maybe. You know, because a lot of spirituality is a big part of this film. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, no, I feel like you needed these characters to talk a little bit so I could be more invested in her safety and her like well-being, even if it's, you know, she's not a damsel in distress or nothing like that. Just her being a part of the story would have mattered more if we got to know her more. Like, we don't even know where this lady's from. Like not really. Outside of like, she also like, because the tattoo she has on her neck or clavicle or something like that is from something. I forget what it says. Also, that's another thing. Everyone whispers in this damn movie. It's hard to hear people sometimes.
Yeah, I was
gonna say, yeah. What about you, Jonathan? What scene did you least like?
I would have to. I can't think of a particular scene where I was just like, I don't like this. But I would probably have to say I at least connected with that same the prostitute storyline. Her kind of general. It felt like she was there just to be a female co-lead. That you wanted to have empathy for, which is cool and all, but I feel like her purpose was not fully fleshed out.
Oh, there's a whole act of this movie she's not even in because most of the second act she's not
Right.
there.
Right. Until you get to the end and it's like, oh yeah, oh she's safe too, blah blah blah. But it's like, do I care about her though? I care about Dev Patel's character, but do I care about her?
Hell, even the little bit of time we spent with a lot of the transgender women that at the temple,
Yeah, I
when
would
they
have
show
liked
up at
more
the end, I
time
cared
with
about them
them.
much more, and they spent even
Yeah.
less time on screen.
Right. I would have liked to spend more time with them as well.
Mhm.
But I was happy that they got their, like, he sent the money to them and everything, and they got their little reward for being of help.
Yeah, they were badass.
Yeah.
They were dope. They had even their costumes. Although there was one scene in the trailer that I
could've-
thought was going to be in the movie, and it was like a person who was dressed as one of the Hindu gods, and it's like this woman, and she's like sticking her tongue. I'm like, like she's all crazy and stuff. That was not in the movie at all, and I was like, where the hell was that? That would have been fun.
Deleted scene.
Maybe it's deleted scene. I mean, Jordan Peele did the same thing with Get Out. In the trailer of Get Out, there's a scene where like demon like skeleton of a deer screams at what's his name's character? Who's the actor in that movie? Damn it.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya, and it's in the trailer. It's like the last shot of the trailer, like the first trailer, and everyone was like, "What the hell was that?" And that's not in the movie at all.
Well, as we know, I don't know if you guys know, but I remember hearing about it after Get Out came out, that they had filmed 2 endings to Get Out, one where he did get out and one where he didn't get out.
Yeah, well, that was the original ending where he gets arrested and he goes to jail, but he's like, it doesn't matter. I stopped it. Like I stopped I killed everybody. So, justice, because they're not going to do the surgeries anymore and stuff. And then they showed that ending to with the movie with that ending to test screenings, and everybody hated the movie because they felt like it was a crappy ending. But I was like, but it is the more realistic ending of what would actually happen. But like audiences didn't like that. So then he made the second ending that became the real ending.
Official ending.
Yeah, the official ending. But I mean, yeah, I like that. If I had to pick like scenes I didn't like, not that I didn't enjoy them, just that they weren't really like felt like necessary, was the scenes with the prostitute character of I don't even remember her name. Sita.
It's a nice name.
Yeah.
That's a nice name.
Yeah. Although Alfonso was cool though. Like that whole,
was that the sidekick?
Yeah, every time he was like, "Let's boogie," I'm like, "Dude, you're fun."
Let's boogie.
Yeah, that
He was
joke
funny.
about the Nicki Minaj, like he names his car Nicki because it's just he's like plenty of like I forget what he said, but he's like plenty in the back and nice headlights. It's just like, that's so funny.
By the way, did you see
good
Nicki
Lord.
Minaj got arrested today?
Did she?
For what?
I don't know, but she got arrested in Amsterdam.
Oh no!
Oh,
What
there's
is
a
it
lot
with
of things you
celebrities
could get
getting
arrested for
arrested
in-
in like foreign countries?
Because they're all American, and Americans have a hard time respecting some rules overseas.
Nicki Minaj reportedly arrested for drug possession in the
In
Netherlands.
Amsterdam? What kind of drugs you having?
Right.
And apparently, it says it was marijuana, possibly. So it's like that seems weird.
Well, that can be tricky when you're going international.
Because she was at the airport. That's why.
Yeah.
That's the one place
always
you
have-
can't have drugs in Amsterdam. Is the
Right,
damn
'cause-
airport. You know that.
Anyway.
That's weird. But anyway. But apparently she had been released, so she's fine. She was arrested, but they released her later. But yeah, I'd like the thing about this movie though is that it really is like, I want to say like the thing about the movie that holds it back a little bit is that there's a lot of mystery, but there's not a lot of intrigue in the sense of like knowing where the kid is at. We don't get it, like, because he doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't have a lot of dialogue. And a lot of the movie is really through visuals, which is good in a lot of cases. But there's parts where it's like, it would be nice to know what he's thinking. Because a lot of people, in fact, there's a lot of characters who tell us stuff about him to him, but we don't hear it from him. You know what I'm saying? Like he goes to the temple, and Alpha, played by I'm sorry if I mispronounce these names because I'm not good at pronouncing South Asian names, but Vipin Sharma, I think is how you pronounce it, or Vipin Sharma, who tells him that he's like, well, you've learned, like, clearly you've learned how to take a lot of pain, like, and take a lot of abuse, but now you need to learn how to fight for something, and you need to like pick yourself up and whatever. And I'm like, that's great and all, but it'd be nice if like the kid realized this and said this. Like, so we have a sense that this character is learning things and like and seeing more of his arc. And I think that's the thing that's holding this movie back a lot, is that outside of the fact that we know he's out for revenge and vengeance, if you don't know anything about the caste system in India, you will be so lost as to like a lot of the themes of this movie, because they don't explain them. Like they don't take the time for like the uninitiated who know nothing about South Asia, know nothing about India in particular, and like all the different religions and stuff between Muslims and Christians and like whatever else. If you don't know anything about that, you will be lost, because this whole thing of him being like a spiritual leader and stuff like that is cool, but they don't explain any of it. So a lot of it is like, it feels surface, even though if you do know about what's going on, like I'm sure Dev Patel and a lot of the cast and a lot of the writers do, they're like, oh man, this is really deep and interesting. And it is. But it's like, and this is one of the major things I learned even going to college, was like, sometimes you do have to treat the audience like they really don't know what you're talking about, even though it should be something that they should. Like even something as simple as how like, like how like a magazine stand works. Like anybody who's ever bought a magazine knows how it works. You go to the stand, they have a bunch of magazines, you buy them. But depending on who's watching your film, you don't know what information they do or don't have. So you have to make your film more open for people to understand the world they're in, especially if it's a much different culture. Because if it's, Indian culture, you risk people not really getting a chance to be as invested in the film as they really should be, because they don't know where they're at. They don't understand the world they're in. It's why like it's why you have people who will watch movies that about like slavery or racism or whatever back in the 1960s or anything like that, and they be lost, because sometimes they're like they're not getting the full context of like, no dog, it's not just like some people were racist, it's like the whole culture, the whole atmosphere, like how the world runs during this time is prejudicial and against a certain group of people. And that's the culture we're dealing with here, where there's a whole system dedicated around keeping a lot of people down, not just people who are trans, but people who are of a different religion, different financial status, all types of stuff. And so you really got to kind of break it down as if you are doing like, the Indian caste system for dummies, like in your movie at some point, so people can follow along and be with you. And I think that's why, because I was reading like one of the reviews from apparently the New York Times here that made it onto Wikipedia, that says, as the story comes into blurry focus, Patel gestures at the real world and folds in some mythology, but these elements only create expectations for a complex story that never emerges. What mostly registers is an overarching sense of exploitation and desperation. Everyone is always hustling someone else. That gives the movie a provocative pessimism. And I agree with that. Like, it's like the idea of subjugation and exploitation and putting people down and all that stuff is there, but the explanation of why those things are there is not there. And so a lot of themes get kind of like muddled and lost, and I think those are the things that I feel like could have made this movie shine that much better. And the down moments that are much slower, like when he's at the temple and we're just seeing the news and hearing the plight of these women at their temple and stuff, would have made more sense, or not made more sense. That's actually the wrong word. More like been more important, like felt like they were more a part of the entire arcing idea of this movie, and not just a pit stop before we get to the next action sequence near the end of the movie.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think also you brought up a good point about like they kind of need to hold audience hands a little bit. And you can kind of see that, especially when it's more integrating from different cultures, like how we were talking about Saltburn and how people were very scandalized over this and like certain scenes. And it was a big, like, you can definitely tell these people have not watched international films before.
Right.
So with international films with the different cultures, you do need to hold their hands a little more, because a lot, as it's shown, a lot of people do not watch international films. They don't understand cultural aspects of certain things, or why this movie is not as scandalous as, like, you know, something else. Like even the blue is the warmest color was not that scandalous, but it was so scandalous for certain people. So I think it is a good idea, hoping that more, you know, different cultures and more different things are introduced into Western culture. I think they do need to keep in mind that a lot of times the average viewer does need to have their hands held a little bit and needs a lot more context than what is originally given to what would be their normal audience or people who watch more international films.
Well, the marketing team needs to be fired, though. well, fired and like, well, not
Damn,
fired,
okay.
but definitely a stern talking to, because they misled a lot of people on this movie. Because if you watch the trailer, it makes it look like this movie is the Indian John
Jordan-
Wick, and that is not what this
I
movie
thought it
is.
was
I
the
was-
Indian Batman. Isn't that what everybody
Or
said?
that-
I
too.
thought I thought it was gonna be like the Indian, like, Get Out, like a Jordan Peele, because they had Jordan Peele all over it. So it was kind of leading to like that it was going to be like a thriller horror type film.
I did not get horror vibes from this at all.
Okay, well, yeah, this is speaking from someone who does not watch trailers. So this is what I got from like the
The
poster
poster?
and
Okay.
that type of marketing.
It's
like the
that
social
whole,
media.
I'm about to say,
silhouette,
'cause, like,
the social-
background red and black type of
Yeah,
vibe going
Yeah,
on.
I'm about to
yeah.
say, if you didn't, like, I will give you a fair shake. You didn't watch the trailer, because if you watch the trailer, it looked like a straight up action movie, like complete with explosions, cars speeding everywhere. Every
Well, that's
action
kinda what it
scene,
was, right?
almost every action scene is in the trailer, like in some way, shape, or form. Not like the full thing, but just some pieces of it, especially that kitchen fight scene. That's all over the trailer. So it made people think, oh man, this is gonna be wall to wall action. And it's like,
Was it
I mean,
not?
there is action. It's really good, but there are a lot of down moments too, where it is
Okay,
really just a
y'all
lot of
have been
time.
too conditioned with these Fast and Furious movies where you have scenes where they flying out of helicopters. You have scenes where they destroy the whole city of Paris, and apparently everybody still survives. That we cannot get an action sequence that is a little more realistic. All right?
No,
I
oh,
have
no,
ADHD.
Jonathan.
That's my own reason why nothing holds my attention.
No,
I have a medical
Jonathan.
condition.
This movie name drops John Wick in the movie. So they know, and John Wick is now the gold standard for action movies, especially Western action movies right now. But even movies like The Raid, which was made in not Korea, dang it. Where was that movie from? But it is in like an Asian country. Like it's like those action movies, they're like, no, it's not that we don't want action movies with a little bit of downtime. It's just that like there's like we want it to just be like ramped up action. That's not this movie. And that's not a bad thing. I think this movie is perfect the way it is, as it is, in the sense of like, you know, what it's trying to do, the themes it's trying to get across, and it's trying to be a little deeper than, like Dev Patel said, he wants this to be an action movie, but with a little bit more of a deeper meaning than just, we're going to blow some shit up and punch some people. Like, we're going to have like some, like, we're still talking about it right now, talking about like some of the things with the caste system and things like that. So I think this movie is supposed to be the more thought out action movie. It's not supposed to be John Wick, Indian John Wick. Because listen, I love me some John Wick. I do. My favorites are number 1, number 2, and number 4. But speaking of which, John Wick Chapter 4 review on the First Ones to Die YouTube channel. Check it out now. It's a mini review by yours truly. But, I enjoy the John Wick movies. But those John Wick movies don't have that much substance. There's not much going on. It's just Keanu Reeves for 2.5 hours kicking ass. And that's pretty much it. There's not much else to think about or much to talk about. Like that, those are the movies. You're there to see Keanu Reeves do his thing. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
like, and they're great for it. That's what those movies are for. This movie is trying to be something a little bigger than that. And I just feel like, though, some people may be giving this movie a harder time because they assumed it was going to be that. And then they come in, and there's a whole second act where there's not only is there no action, there's not even dialogue. It's a slow ass montage of him punching a punching bag while the dude plays drums in the background. Like, you know what I mean? It's a very slow section of the movie, but for a reason. It's to help lead to the buildup. So I'm just saying, the marketing team should have added some of those slow moments to give us a little bit more downtime to be like, listen, it's going to be some action in there, but there's also going to be some methodical moments for you to be thinking and for you to be paying attention to some other things.
Was that your final thoughts, or do you have more?
Well, I have one last question. This is for Jonathan, because you saw the end of this movie. Do you think he's dead? Because he does get jabbed really good. Like, he gets shaked up real good. And he accomplishes his mission, so he doesn't really have anything to live for after that.
Right. He's dead if there's not a sequel. If there is a sequel, he's alive.
I think...
Which I never really thought of the possibility of a sequel, but...
I don't think you can do a sequel off this movie. Not in the sense of...
If you could do a sequel off of...
No. You can... It doesn't mean you should, all right? Jurassic Park rules. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something.
That's a good point.
But it's just like, because I feel like it fits, that he dies at the end. But if he didn't die, like, because in my head, I'm like, it's a VIP elevator that you literally need a thumbprint to get into, and he took the thumb with him.
He cut the thumb off.
So it's like, so nobody else is gonna get up there except maybe the police, and they're not gonna, if he is alive, they're just gonna throw him in jail for killing like this leader of the country. So arguably, like, he's probably better off dead anyway. Although I am a little disappointed that you didn't keep the monkey mask on for longer, like when he's like doing the final raid of the club. Because he's like fighting in the ring, and then he bleaches the mask like intentionally and makes it all white and stuff. And he's wearing the suit with the mask on, and he kicks and he beats up 2 people, and then he immediately takes it off. And I was like, aw, I kind of would have liked if you had just kept it on. And then like when you fight like Rana or something, then you take it off and reveal, it's me. I'm still alive. Let's do this.
It's me, Mario.
But instead, it's just like Dev Patel's like, no, dang it. I directed the movie. I wrote the movie. Damn it. Y'all gonna see me in the movie.
I mean, like, fair.
If Tyler Perry can do it, I can do it.
Speaking of which, have you all seen the preview or the trailer for Not Another Church movie?
Yes. And listen,
yeah, I feel like that movie was announced like years ago. And
it was announced and it finally came out. It's in theaters even.
It looks insulting.
Here's my thing.
I keep seeing that one video of Tisha Campbell where she has the fake booty. And she's walking.
I haven't seen that.
Listen, I am all for a parody as much as the next guy. And I am all for cracking fun at directors and stuff when they make like the same movie over and over again, like Tyler Perry does. But damn, like y'all are just gonna bother, like, at least Tyler Perry, despite how low budget his movies are, at least he has some budget. You can be bothered to scrounge up some budget, and you must have some dirt in all these actors you got to be in this movie, because they all should be doing much better projects than this. I'm sorry. Like Jamie Foxx, even Mickey Rourke has better things to do than that movie. I'm sure.
I was not surprised to see Mickey Rourke in there for some reason. It felt like it made real sense. Be like,
Alex, the oxygen in the room of all those sets has better places to be than in that damn movie. Yes, Mickey Rourke has better things to do.
Not the oxygen.
And there's no shade to them trying to poke some fun, but this seems like a project that maybe you make in your own personal time to laugh amongst your friends. You don't put this out, in theaters at the very least. Put it on DVD or something. Put it on BET Plus. Don't waste people's time like this for what is clearly a joke that is only meant for you and your friends. Because you damn sure didn't put enough effort into the movie to scrounge up an actual budget's worth of money to make a good parody movie.
Oh my god. I love it. I love all of it. I'm going to watch it.
I don't know why I'm so salty today, but everyone's getting some.
I don't know, but I'm gonna buy the tickets for pre-release, and we're gonna go because I want to hear your commentary for afterwards too. When is it being
When
released?
does it? It says it was released May
I was-
10th.
I was about to say it's already out.
Is it already out? What are you doing tomorrow? Let's
Hanging out
let's
with
go
my
see
family.
Not another church movie after church.
Go out and hang out with my family.
Bring them along.
I don't think they'd enjoy it. At least my dad.
Even the
wouldn't.
poster is a little low budget. Wow, they got the box office
Everything
down
is
to the
low
dollar.
budget.
They have the box office down to the dollar. At the box office, it made $563,781.
I do like how I've seen this one a lot where it's they cover up Tyler Perry's name with church.
Oh yeah,
That was like the first poster I saw for it. It's like, oh, you guys are just really trying to come for Tyler Perry.
It's just every
And
single
the
actor
director
in
is-
this, like that's famous. It just feels like you're just looking at them like you dragged them into this, like Kyla Pratt. You dragged Kyla Pratt into this. I would be surprised about Vivica A. Fox, but she's been doing these type of low budget movies for a while now. Like she's been living on Tubi, so kind of is what it is.
Look, Tubi's got their own original movies and stuff. Don't slam them.
well,
They
remember
got their own life.
when Taraji P. Henson was talking about how during the Color Purple press run, she was talking about how she hasn't been paid fairly and stuff like that. And Vivica A. Fox put in her 2 cents. TMZ or somebody asked her, and Vivica A. Fox put in her 2 cents, and she's like, "I've been doing well, yeah, because you probably been doing fine for BET Plus, for Hallmark, for Lifetime."
If you do a Hallmark Christmas movie, you're making some money because people either watch those movies ironically, religiously, or just like that's something to do during the holidays.
There are some.
I watch them.
I'd be happy if
pockets.
I'd be happy if I became Hallmark famous. Like if I just was doing
I mean,
Hallmark
listen,
movies,
you'll have job security.
right?
That's true.
There'll always be people like me. I want every Christmas rolls around. That's the only time I don't actively watch horror films is December and Hallmark and Lifetime movies. Christmas all the time. They're so bad, but I love them.
I'm just saying, listen, I'm not saying Vivica A. Fox is wrong for doing that. She's probably getting paid plenty to do a lot of these lower budget films for TV. But I'm just saying, when you look at her filmography and you look at the stuff she was doing in the 90s going to the 2000s, you know what I mean? She was an Independence Day, damn it.
Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Kill
that's right,
Bill.
she was in Kill Bill.
You know what I mean? She deserves better than this. and you know the only reason she's getting this now is because she keeps saying yes.
You're like, you need to be selective, Vivica.
Be more selective.
I mean, the pay is paying, so
I guess that's true. The money's
right,
there.
jobs ain't promised. So you better take them while you
And that's true.
can.
Listen,
will
sometimes
say
as an
this.
actor, you just do what you got to do to make sure you pay your bills on
And I
time,
will
and
say
that
this,
and nothing
though.
wrong with that.
a lot of the actors, are getting slammed because they're taking this role or that role, or they're being heard about being difficult to work with, or this or that. For Tubi movies and Lifetime movies, you never hear anything about those actors having a hard time, or those actors being like, their last movie was in the shits, or blah blah blah. Are they ever gonna get hired again? No, she's like, I know, I got already 6 Lifetime movies set up for me. She's like, I'm set. You're struggling to find work and hoping that your next movie's a blockbuster. Me, I'm good. She's got enough money to buy a yacht. She's fine.
In 2022, she did 6. It looks like 6 TV movies. In 2021, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 TV movies. So she's been booked.
I don't know. I guess that's a question. You know what I mean? Is it better to be working but hit a ceiling as to what jobs you can get, or is it better to go big and get and maybe struggle a little bit to get the big roles and the recognition, but be known for putting out not just quality work but high end work? You know what I'm saying?
I think, unfortunately, with certain celebrities, you have to know when your fame is dwindling, because then you end up getting people like Jennifer Lopez, who literally have a whole
That's
documentary.
a whole nother podcast.
Listen, she's got a
But-
Netflix movie coming out called Atlas, where she's just
She
a
literally
robot
has
suit.
a documentary scene with people saying no to her,
Declining.
that they're going to be in a movie, declining. Said no.
We could
said
do
no.
a whole podcast. We could do a whole podcast on J-Lo. But listen, okay, so this is so fascinating. I'm on Vivica A. Fox's filmography, and she has a TV movie series called The Wrong, and that includes movies like starting from 2016 up until this year. There's been The Wrong movies. So there is The Wrong Roommate, The Wrong Child, The Wrong Student, The Wrong Crush, The Wrong Man, The Wrong Cruise, The Wrong Friend, The Wrong Teacher, The Wrong Stepmother, The Wrong Boy Next Door, The Wrong Mommy, The Wrong Tutor, The Wrong Cheerleader, The Wrong House Sitter, The Wrong Wedding Planner, The Wrong Stepfather, The Wrong Cheerleader Coach, The Wrong Real Estate Agent, The Wrong Fiance, The Wrong Mr. Right, The Wrong Prince Charming, The Wrong Valentine, The Wrong Cheer Captain, The Wrong Blind Date, The Wrong High School Sweetheart, and The Wrong Life Coach that was released this year.
The Wrong Life Coach? They really just grabbed whatever career they could think of.
Yes, and she
And
plays,
these are all
it looks like
free for you to watch on Lifetime, by the way.
And it
you
looks
need a
like
subscription for
she
Lifetime.
plays a different character in each movie.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I don't.
Wow. And
That's
she
interesting.
yeah, and these are all you can go to YouTube right now, onto Lifetime's YouTube channel, and watch these movies in full for free. At least I think they're free. Yeah, they're for free. Watch the whole thing. If actually, Lifetime has a lot of movies you can watch for free. But that's crazy.
That's wild. I've never seen that.
I mean, hey, listen, you make money.
Like I said, I think there's a certain point where celebrities know, or
What
some
their niche-
celebrities
or
are aware of
what their brand is.
Yeah, or how far their limelight, how far they can step into limelight, and at that point they're like, well, I can still do acting and make money off of it, and I'll be set. Compared to like other celebrities who are like, still have a diva behavior when it's like you haven't done anything good in like 30 years. Where I don't know where this attitude's coming from, but you need to correct yourself.
Well, this goes to show that, hey, Vivica A. Fox must be a joy to work with, because if you're doing all this for years
From what I
on
hear,
end-
she's like a really nice lady. Like,
yeah.
she's really nice to work with. Like from all the like interviews and stuff of people talking about her. But I'm just saying, I'm like, it's just like the idea of just like everybody wants to win an Oscar, but if you're in the Black community, isn't enough to just get BET awards. Like it's for the culture, and you're still an award. No, it's not an Oscar, but it's something. Your recognition for work that you have done, and you can show people and be like, no, I am a working actor. No, my movies aren't in theaters per se, but they're still coming out. They still get shown somewhere where people can actually see them. They're not just sitting on YouTube with all of like 3 views, 2 of which are my significant other.
Vivica A. Fox would be happy to be approached at a gas station too.
I'm sure she would.
Probably.
I'm sure she would.
No, probably not. She wouldn't. Probably not. I don't think approach anybody at a gas station.
But
Right.
here's the thing.
Just look.
Anybody, like if Ki-Hugh Kwan, Short Round from Indiana Jones can make a comeback, anybody can do it. Just takes the right role. The right
Yeah, it's
role
never-
in the right film.
It's never out of the question for anybody. I always think.
Because I
Like-
think Vivica A. Fox is on that level to possibly be like doing much bigger movies than what she's doing now, and I'm sure she enjoys them clearly because she's done so many. But it's just like for me, I am a fan of Vivica A. Fox. Always have been, even back in the day when she was in stuff like Booty Call and stuff like that. Like I think she's amazing.
Like
I would love to see her in bigger and better stuff, especially with a lot of Black actors and writers and producers coming out the woodwork to make great shows and great movies and great content. This is the time.
Yeah, like if you think about, there's always a renaissance period for people. Like if you think about, this is probably a not as related example, but like people like Tina Turner, who people don't realize that Tina Turner was considered a has-been before she made some of her most popular songs in her like 40s. Like What's Love Got to Do with It? She didn't record that until she was in her like 40s. So, like, there's never an expiration date, especially in Hollywood. I feel like,
Just like, I mean, hey, listen, Brendan Fraser has an Oscar. And he
yeah.
got it after being in the industry for a long, long time. Like, so
I love Brendan Fraser.
you know what I mean? You just gotta keep pushing. But I think at the same time though, you gotta push for the roles. And I don't know if Vivica Fox is doing that because she's so busy probably doing all the Lifetime stuff. She might not have time, to like audition or try and do these projects that take like years to produce and stuff like that.
I don't think we got to our final thoughts on Monkey Man.
I mean,
let's abbreviate it. What grade do we give it?
I'm giving it a Monkey Man. B. I'm giving it a B-. I think this movie is really good in a lot of ways. I think there's a lot of greatness in it. The direction is on point. That I can't take away from this movie in any way, shape, or form. All the directorial choices are fantastic, and a lot of the acting is really good. I think my only criticisms are just in that like the writing needed to be a little stronger in the sense of like making it a little more accessible, so you can really grasp a lot of what's going on from a like thematic standpoint. But that being said, action is still amazing. A lot of Dev Patel scenes are really cool, and I'm curious to see what he does from this point forward. But as far as this movie goes, it's still a pretty decent movie. I would say still check it out if you are have an interest at all, because it'll be worth your time. You know what I mean? At the very least, if you get into the fighting, and there's a good bit of it, you'll have a good time.
I think I'm gonna give Monkey Man. Now, this is from what I can recall. I did watch it a while ago. But I just remember that it stuck with me, and it made me feel really good, especially watching it. I wish I can go back to the moment of the movie ending, black screen, and then seeing written and directed by Dev Patel. It was like, wow, okay, wow. I'm actually glad I didn't know that going in, because I feel like I would have been like having a little bit more of a critical eye towards it. But I just got to enjoy it for what it was. Enjoy the action, the music. That music was hitting.
Yeah,
yeah. The fight scenes, the acting. The acting was incredible as well.
Also think of music. He also cues it up very well, and it stops it when it needs to stop. He doesn't let music be the driver of the emotion of whatever scene's happening, which is good.
Right. And infusing all of this stuff, and representing the Indian culture as well. I thought all of that just combined. I've said it once and I'll say it again on this podcast. I just like when we get different representations of things that we've never seen before, whether that's in casting, in culture, in representation, just flipping things on their head. I don't need to see the same thing that I've already seen before. Maybe I want to see something that I'm familiar with, but just done in a different way. And for that, I am always appreciative of, even if it doesn't, even if it fails or doesn't turn out the way that maybe the general audience wanted. I always appreciate when you can take risks and genre bend, or bring in an element of a different culture that we don't typically see represented on screen. So yeah, for that, even though this succeeded in my opinion. So yeah, Alex.
I thought this concept was a great idea. I've talked much about bringing in other cultures into Western media, and I'm excited to see that flow. And anything from Dave Patel going forward, he's such a fantastic actor, and now that he's moving into this new stage of his career, I can only wish him the best of luck, and definitely I think he's just going to do amazing in this next step.
Well, audience, did you watch Monkey Man? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? let us know. Go ahead and give us a follow and comment on our social media pages. We are at The First Ones to Die. You can also email us, thefirstones2die@gmail.com. If you're listening to us on what is it? If you're listening to us on podcasts, go ahead and give us a rating and review. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe. My name is Jonathan Keys. You can find me at Jonathan Keys on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you please. Jerome, where can people find you?
You can find me at Not Jerome on Instagram. And yes, of course, as he said, go on over to the YouTube channel for find all types of things. We have a lot of extra content coming that you're going to not want to miss. We have stuff like gaming videos, blogs, book reviews, mini reviews, other things for you to check out on the YouTube channel. It's a fun time. So, if you're listening on the audio streaming platform, please go on over to the YouTube channel and check out that stuff. And if you are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. And, just don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and so you know what's going on, and all the other things that you've heard other YouTubers say, because you know the deal, But, it's the only way to get the best version of this podcast goodness. Just go on over there and do that. Alex.
You can find me at Alex and Nobody on Instagram and on TikTok, and the podcast TikTok, where I post little clips of episodes we've done, little things we are going to do, or things I get bored with. And if anybody has read Planet of the Apes, the book, let me know. We can chat about it, because it's a short read too, by the way. It's a short read too. It's like only 268 pages, and I'd be happy to share ideas about the book with you guys. So reach out to me, I guess, on that. That'd be a fun thing to do. And join us next week for
the roleplay episode. We're finally getting a sequel to the roleplay episode in honor of our podcast anniversary, although it won't come out on our podcast anniversary, but it'll be coming out. We're finally getting a follow-up. It's been a while since we did our last one, so I'm super excited for us to do it again.
I will not be guilted into anything ever again by our friend. No, last role-playing one, I was saved. I will never let this go. I would like to remind everybody that I am the petty bitch, and I will get this. Our friends were in danger in our little role-playing game. I was sitting chilling in the kitchen. Everybody was upstairs dying, and everybody was like, you have to help them. You know exactly how to kill the monster now. I was like, fine. Within seconds, I die of trying to help our friends. So I don't care how this game is played. I will be the last one. Sorry, go on.
So tune in. It's going to be a long episode, y'all, because last one was like nearly 3 hours. So, it's going to be a lot of content, plenty for you to listen to, plenty for you to watch.
This recording as well, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. But so tune in. You're not going to want to miss it. But until then, have a good night, good morning, good evening, whenever you're listening to this, and we will catch you for the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Because the last thing you want as a lion is to hear, "Hey, you heard what happened to you heard what happened to Mufasa, right? What? Hey, word is he got his ass whooped by a zebra, still walking around too."
Did he get his ass beat by the cantaloupe? Cantaloupe. Oh my god. They threw fruit at Mufasa.
Go on over to the YouTube channel at The First Ones to Die to see all the fun stuff we got going on here, like mini reviews, book reviews, gaming videos, vlogs, all types of stuff.
Please follow us at The First Ones to Die everywhere. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe.